Namo Amida Butsu. Hey guys, right now I'm in sort of self quarantine. Not exactly a lockdown, but a kind of a withdrawing, more or less, from humanity. I feel kind of numb. I feel like I've landed on a strange planet with strange rules and laws that I'm not familiar with that change from one moment to the next. Um, I've been through hurricanes, tornadoes, floods, and this is something that's different. Never gone through a plague before. I've never gone through a pandemic before. And I can honestly tell you, I'm not afraid of dying. That's something I'm oddly enough not concerned about at all. Um, Honestly, there's a part of me that's very excited about that prospect. Um, and no, I'm not thinking about suicide, not now, not ever. But I am looking forward to being with Amida in the Pure Land. Something I know that will happen. And so I thought I'd just spend time not giving out great words of wisdom, but just being myself and sharing with you how I feel, what I'm seeing, and maybe you can relate to what I'm seeing in the world around me at this moment. I see this surreal universe right now where the government has no concern for its people, but has all concern for its agenda, its ideology, and its winning. Or as Charlie Sheen used to say, winning. And I feel like the rest of the population, the majority of the population, has just been left behind to die. And I don't think this is very nice. I don't think it's very good. I don't think it's very Buddhist or Christian or ethical in the most humanistic sense of the word. I feel that the people in charge are looking down from their ivory towers and, just seeing the peasants suffer and saying, oh, well, at least we're up in our ivory tower. As for the celebrities, so called, in our society, I see only a bunch of narcissists concerned with pandering and virtue signaling and insulting our intelligence by trying to lead us to believe that they can relate to us and our situation, and they can't in any way, shape, or form. When you live in a mansion 3 times the size of the Galleria shopping mall, you have no concept of what it's like to be someone like me, living from paycheck to paycheck, you know, and there's a sense of anger mingled with a sense of disconnecting from what's going on. And I guess the best way to sum it up would be just feeling numb. And so I thought I'd just spend time with you. I'm not really in a position where I can answer questions because I feel very numb right now. And once again, I'm numb because I don't understand. I can't relate to what's going on. The reactions that those who are supposed to be our protectors, those who are supposed to be guiding us in the secular sense of the word, in the financial and governmental sense of the word, don't get it. And when I go to the grocery stores and I see empty racks that appear to not even be restocked at night, there's a fear not of dying, but of starving, of losing everything I have, which isn't much, but it's mine. Oh, by the way, I decided to go ahead and frame my poster of Amita over my altar. Isn't he beautiful? I love my altar. I love my altar. I want to be compassionate. And I do encounter compassion in my daily life. In so many ways. And I'm grateful. I'm grateful for where I'm at in life right now. And of course, that gratitude all goes to Amita Buddha. Amita Buddha is the reason for my happiness. Because right now, I've chosen to use these 2 weeks of quarantine as a time of study. Studying the Dharma, spending more time in front of that altar, bowing in front of the altar. And I want to be clear, not to save my life. I don't care. I'm serious. I don't care about that. That is so irrelevant. And I know that seems very hard to believe, especially to most of you who are younger. And I understand this. I don't condemn you for this. And I don't suggest that anyone should feel the way I do. I'm just merely sharing how I feel right now, in case someone out there can relate to what I'm going through, or parts of what I'm going through. It's a very stressful time, and yet I am not gripped by fear like a lot of other people are. A lot of other people are freaking out because they're afraid of dying. I went to various places yesterday and today, and I saw people with face masks, with rubber gloves, and people in grocery stores that are overwhelmed by the questions, and they just, you try to ask them something, they recoil and say, I don't know, I don't know, I don't know. And I can't really condemn them for that, because I deal with the public in my job. And, a lot of us who deal with the public have encountered this. We want to help people. We want to assure people. And we don't know what to say. I may live, I may die, and I know this. Um, Ironically enough, at the height of this, one of the things I received in the mail today, um, I have to laugh about it, is this beautiful bamboo tray I got from China. And it's wonderful. It's a tea tray. And I put it next to my shrine. You can't see it. It's on the other side of the place where my beads and my books are. Um, and I'm just tired. I don't feel like getting it out. But it's from China, and I thought I would never receive it. I thought I would actually have to contact Yunnan Sourcing and say, okay, give me my money back. But it came. It came today. And it's beautiful. And I'm opening it and I'm not thinking, oh my gosh, coronavirus. It's it's been sitting on a wharf out in the ocean for over 3 months, basically 4 months, and I've just now received it. But it's beautiful, and that's all I noticed when I was unwrapping it with like tons of bubble wrap and everything, is how beautiful this is. And I will go to the Chinese mart, and I may go to Chinatown at some point. And I love Chinese food. I love Korean food. I love Asian food in general. And 90% of what I eat is Asian food with chopsticks or with spring roll wrappers. And I'm not afraid of death. I'm afraid of losing my material possessions because I'm a bamboo and I live in this dreamscape, this alternate universe that we live in. And for some people, I realize this alternate universe has turned into a hideous nightmare. And I feel for these people. And I would not for a moment pretend to be righteous and preach to these people, oh thou of little faith, what you need is to believe in Amitabha Buddha. And I got a lot of that when I was a Christian. When in times of fear, when I was paralyzed with fear, and when I moved out on my own from my parents' house, I knew nothing about life and I was paralyzed by fear. And the people I hated the most were those self-righteous religiosos who would pontificate and preach to me, well, if you really did this, if you really tithed, if you really if you really had faith, it's like, I'm hurting, man. I'm hurting. I'm scared. We're all scared right now for different reasons. And though I, as a bamboo living in the Saha realm, in the Dharma ending age of Mapo, am imperfect and am really crappy at keeping the precepts, I have at least vowed to try. I have also made the Bodhisattva vow. And though I'm not generally a compassionate person, I do try to be a compassionate person. I do strive to be the force of good in the world. I do try to be that channel of light through which people can feel the love of Amida, even if they don't know that is what that light is. Because one of the best ways to practice and to share your Buddhist faith is just to be a decent human being, not perfect, because few people can relate to perfect people. I'm anything but perfect, but I am sincere. I don't always get it right, but I do try to get it right. And I don't pretend to be a sage or a Dharma master. I think everyone on this channel knows that that would be laughable. But I am a person filled with the deepest of gratitude to Amida Buddha. He has given me a beautiful, simple life. And guys, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know how much longer that life will last. If somehow that life ends during this pandemic, Namo Amida Butsu. You know, this isn't some televangelist act I put on when I say I know that Amida is a real Buddha, and I know that I am going to his real pure land when I die. You know, I'm not trying to sell the product. There's no product to sell. All this channel is about is me expressing my love and gratitude for Amida Buddha coming into my life. And that life will not end just because this particular dreamscape ends. And that's all it is. Now, saying that, don't jump off a building and say, oh, it's just a dream, because you're jumping off the building in the dream. You will go splat in the dream. And if you haven't found Amida and Shinjin, you will go on to another dream. Maybe better, maybe worse. There is a knowing that you have come to a point in your life when the dream is about to end, when you are about to wake up from the dream. And that is where I'm at right now. I can't bullshit my way through this and pretend that, you know, I can't act. I can't fake this. You know, honestly, I mean, if I was afraid of dying and if I didn't believe 120% what I'm saying about Amida being a real Buddha and his pure land being a real place to go to, knowing that I would go there, I would be up here like so many other people crying. You know, I can't fake this. I know, even though I'm numb right now, even though I just am flabbergasted by the behavior of people right now, even though I look at the selfishness and the hoarding and the rudeness, in the midst of this, I see people saying good morning, even though I see the fear in their eyes as they're walking their dog. I see people tentatively smiling at me, not knowing if I'm going to lash out, and then I smile, and then seeing that relief when I smile back. It's called human connection. It's called compassion. It's called love. And you don't have to embrace someone to love them. I have a lot to be grateful for. I have you guys. I have Joshua Adrian Serlia, my mentor. I have a handful of friends that I love dearly, and you're counted among those friends. I appreciate you. I thank Amita for you. You are a gift of Amita to my life. You are decent people. Yes, I'm talking to you. I said you're decent people, which makes you think probably in many cases that I don't know what the heck I'm talking about. But no, you're decent people. You who are tuning in right now and listening to me ramble on, who have given me words of encouragement and hope, you're decent. I don't care what your problems are, what your anger issues are, the feelings of rage, of hate, your points of hypocrisy. Understand, I have that too. That doesn't stop once you receive Amita's gift of Shinjin, that knowing that you're saved by Amita. It just gives you a reason to be that much more grateful that you've been saved by Amita. And I am so grateful to Amita. And in my own way, I've got to admit, I'm overwhelmed at this moment by what's going on around me. I'd be a liar if I didn't admit that. And also being an older person with, not perfect health. Excuse me, I overfilled this. Balancing act. Ah, delicious. Pu'er tea. Wonderful tea. See, that's the thing. There's simple things to appreciate. There's all sorts of things to thank Amita for. And it's not about Amita creating anything. It's about just being grateful. And I offer that gratitude to Amita because Amita fills my heart with joy. We are fragile, delicate. I think Rinyo compared us to drops of dew on the morning grass. We're here for a minute and then we're gone the next. Times like these put that into perspective. And as I've said before in previous videos, I've encountered that once when I nearly got swept out to the Gulf of Mexico in the undertow when I was 19. And another time when I got run over on my bike going to work. It happens like that. I could catch this thing and my heart could stop. It is what it is. I was talking with a neighbor yesterday, and we were talking about how people are freaking out around us and hoarding, and we'd gone to Kroger and checked out all the, how it's like they're having a going out of business sale. It's like no toilet paper, no paper towels, barely any TV dinners. Luckily for me, I'm a vegetarian, so most of the stuff I like, nobody likes. They don't want to buy. So it's like, hey, cool. More soba noodles for me. Yeah, I'm scared. I don't want to starve to death. I don't want to spend my last moments on this earth homeless on the street? I love this little room. I love my apartment. I love and am grateful for my roommate. I love my job. I love what I do for a living. I'm a barista. I encounter people every day and I'm challenged every day to work on myself, to examine myself, to and to look at how I fail, not just bettering myself, but I have what I've asked for, basically. I wanted a store, the store that I'm working for right now, in a very beautiful wooded area where I can see the trees around me, a place where I can go and meditate under the trees during my lunch breaks and say Nembutsu. I've got it made. I'm not rich. I'm not financially, but that's the thing. I look at Hollywood, you couldn't pay me to be that fake. That's got to be terrible. I feel sorry for these people putting on an act. What must it be like to be a performer who is incapable of turning off the performance? You become so caught up in acting and creating a persona to make you money that you can't shut it off. You don't know what it's like to be real, ever. That's a fate worse than death. That's literally living a fake life. It's living a lie. I cherish the moments I spend with Amita because in those moments, I hide nothing from him. I hide nothing. I don't need to put on an act or make long prayers of these and thous and thines because he knows me more than I know myself, and he loves me anyway. My Osayama, my mother, my father, my strength, my refuge, my fortress. He whose sleeves I cling to 24/7. Without whom I would be lost, alone, hopelessly neurotic. Neurotic enough as it is, but Amita is my sanity. Amita is my strength. Amita is my hope, my faith. Recently, certain in Hollywood got horribly bashed, as thus they should, for singing a John Lennon tune called Imagine. Just a second, I'm going to close the door. Yeah, my roommate's coming in. I've never been a big John Lennon fan. I've never really been a big Beatles fan. I've always been kind of a heavy metal kind of guy. But for some reason, these people kind of showed who they were and what they were all about by singing Imagine. Imagine there's no heaven. Imagine there's no religion. I've tried that. I don't have to imagine it. I can't live like that. And to a lot of people like them, they might look at this video and say, oh, this poor old man, he's clinging to false hope in a mythological character, in a mythological land. This poor guy. And yet I look at these celebrities and I say, these poor celebrities, these poor little rich boys and girls. Um, not knowing how to be honest, either with themselves or with anyone else. Their whole life is a con job, an act. And I don't say that to slam them. This is something that's been said about the wealthy and the powerful and the privileged from time immemorial. There is so much to be said about living a life of simplicity and simple faith. And this time drives that home more than ever. It's not about me trying to relate to anyone else. It's about me going in and pouring out my heart to the one I love. I am so grateful. You know, the best way to gauge spiritual progress is not by bragging and going into debates with others, but it's times like these that will show you how far you progressed on the spiritual path. And of course, our progressions on the spiritual path in this realm are meaningless, but it's good to see how far living a life of faith in Amida has brought me. I don't fear death. I swear, I'm honest. I'm not making this up. And people would hear me say that and say, oh, come on, man. Come on. Yeah, I get it. You know, you're Jodo Shinshu, blah, blah, blah. You know, yeah, Amida, that's the point of your channel. Yeah, I get it. You got to protect. For real. I mean, I would have no problem letting you know, look, you know, I'll be honest with you guys. I'm just not. What if this doesn't exist? What if Amida isn't real? What if the Pure Land doesn't exist? I know this is a reality. I know Amida is real because of my daily, hourly connection to Amida as a way of life. I know his Pure Land is real because I know Amida is real. Therefore, I know I am going to his Pure Land because of this knowing that Amida is real. Simple faith is not simple at all. That is why it is called the most difficult of difficulties, because, and if you want to know what that means, look at Hollywood, look at the politicians. Their lives are an ongoing act. It's chaos, it's neurosis. I'm sitting here knowing I have rice in the bin, I have canned vegetables, canned veggie meat, onions, scallions, a certain amount of fresh produce, tofu in the refrigerator. I'm good. Hell, I'm good for a month or two. And if I were to run out of toilet paper, I got a shower. I got, I mean, the stuff people place importance on in times like this. And I mean, don't get me wrong, we all need the essentials. But what about the essential of peace of mind? For me, that comes from knowing Amida Buddha. For me, that comes from saying Nimbutsu. So take care of yourself. I mean, you shouldn't live dangerously. You shouldn't, do what they say, wash your hands. But don't allow fear to paralyze you. Don't allow fear to destroy your faith. There is a sanctuary of calm that is there, and that is Amida. I'm not always calm. I'm not always fearless. There's stuff I worry about. And though I don't worry about death itself, I do worry about getting sick from time to time. I do worry about losing everything I have, ending up on the streets. That would be my real fear. The act of breathing my last breath and ceasing to be in this realm, not so much. So, guys, I just want you to know I love you. And I know what it's like living in this world. There's nothing special about me. Except Amida in my life. And that's what's special about me is Amida. Because whatever light and goodness people see in my life, it comes from Amida. It doesn't come from me. Whatever hope and strength I get from whatever source, I count it all as coming from Amida. Because Amida loves me. Amida loves you. And we should cling to his sleeves during this time of doubt and fear more than ever. I love you all. Stay safe. And I'll be making another video in a few days. Namo Amida Butsu. Bye.